My never say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, see them yopo.
Has a destiny to bless not just Africa, but bless the world. That's why selfishness, greed, self-centeredness must go down, especially if you aspire for the leadership of this great party. I want to thank you for the opportunity and to wish all of you the very best. This month of June, we'll see a lot of things that NDC, because that is our month, the month of June. So apart from June 4, in the next 6 days, we have June 10th, which is the party's anniversary. June 19th will be the Cadence Day. June 22nd will be the birthday of the founder, Jerry John Rawlings, and will be marked as a national event for the party. We want to encourage all of you to be with us, even as we prepare to show the leadership and the selflessness that this country requires of us, so that that fire that is blazing would even blaze more for the children of Ghana and for the future of tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Vivi Kweti, Warono General Secretary, Edema NDC, Amanyo Kono, na Onosukopie, the 4th June anniversary, 47th anniversary, Wamo Edi, and Ninsama, the 2 hours, no. Baby, I wakanya hear me there about the next leaders. One more, I pray. So mubetimi edi adie ewo eye NDC edi mu no madi anim for the next elections away anim. Leader adwumaye ba ko pe. So be doni man wo be doni mamufo na wa ya ade a ebetimi di mpuntu aba. Leader emeye obi e wo say timamufo mum na nkosum leader no. If you are leader, you are there to serve. Okwakosom anything no ye beto ba wo ba ukrom wo ba constituency wo ba region wo ba ba bia wo betimi anya no wo ba ka say fa wo to mi mame fa wo kokromotu wei fa tim so kire say wo peme na for say to mi ni samensa na menye ade emfa ma wo mitimi nye lor kwan fa ma wo mitimi se schools fa ma wo mi si hospitals me momodi emi anyuma wo betimi anya bia ye Memwa ubenya baby a odi tibeto. That is a leader. Okandifo na dwumadi a wono bedi no enye omo a because of their selfish interest. Opeya mampani a niemba bi obenya nti no ye huru bi pe wokromu a. So we sat here for almost 8 years and you said that impact bia it got to a time now wo mampani da na da kwakufado wo kwa years a just wo hene sorry. The same chiefs, he went there begging in 2016, in 2020. So woman to about man no me after the 2020 elections, the same chiefs, now was someone sorry answer. I know much and that is not a leader. Those are not qualities of a good leader. Leader was someone crop for. We answer say pa edi relief edi ahoto edi asumdwe ebebre nkrofo. You don't think about yourself. Said ye huru bi do tie tam sika ya ho na yedi abusua enamfofo na temamufo ahodo a wo moto abade ma wo se begena di no na mo bre. We were in this country in the year 2022 na se wo bomodin tu car eco filling station so beto diesel fuel air diesel near 23 Ghana cedis per liter. 23 Ghana cedis per liter. So 1 gallon was almost 100 cedis. And then another kwakufado. And Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. I know was suffer to be man. But and then Ukraine Russia war. One more a sense semi in say Egusu Koso and then America ni Iran ni Israel about Egusu Koso. Omampeni John Dramani Mahama who said that they were near si for chrono. Ya hwe ya latest ne be koso no was that be meti be afri so. That is a leader. What it 2 cedi, not their free diesel so, no what 1 cedi something, not their free petrol so, what it is so, said their be ya ultimum ni ukomo be high. That is a leader. But Ukraine Russia war na still 11 so that yesuni etia betting tax da yesuni etia COVID tax da yesuni etia na yasan wo IMF near the harsh conditionalities, utility tariffs adjustment every quarter of the year. Now you the mere Ghana for and fano. That is not illegal. We are saying you can for what by 2 million say we pre bibi the amount say the omaye. Nanke enne under the Fourth Republic. Finance Minister Ben wedi idea we dwane afi kromwa. Apart from Ken Oforiatta, Dr. Kwabena Dufon in Nama, Setekpe in Nama, they are all in this country. But NPP pe Ken Nanaya Kuntukunu Oforiatta, a year finance minister here we dwane wapuni Ghana. Wakoti in America, what bisa wudi entia. So some of these leaders say banu, womu bekini womu ekwanya womu betimi afa kwan bone so afa wo man Ghana japade de asesi wo mo hune o mabusia. Those are the things we saw 8 years under the leadership of Nana Akufo-Addo and Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia Ken Oforiatta. All African Games. Now see all the Tibetan abontin. The Auditor General ABC your friend saying the former sports minister Mustafa Yusuf, and together with LOC chairman any penny Bakoka say one more refined it 579 million Ghana cedis. At the Kromwa near the $15 million. $15 million annual Biani 18 days all African Games. Mustafa Yusuf. You had over $4 million. I accreditation. People now, you say now picture bosso as a journalist. Ebi if XYZ broadcaster, if Power FM, if TV XYZ, if Radio XYZ, eti ya enye ya de abom ya nto obi ehume na me report wo woman in baby am free. Woman di over $4 million and woman say woman the accreditation. Sika woman say woman come GTV. Say GTV in program no over $4.5 million is you know GTV for sika omo kai omo nsa ye a reflecting account me $105,000 free $4 million. These are some of the things we saw. You give to one remember kwanya wo faso Aquatina National Service Authority and then answer more court ghost names I would do the same or size bench. The Attorney General Bekache say wa fagana sikankwa 2.5 billion Ghana cedis. Akwadi your friend say or size bench botum. Because when you akonya say one mesumo man Ghana. These are the leaders we saw. And it's about time one who got a new say Ghana pass on your man. I don't think I'm say my head because Penny John Dramani Mama me Jimmy Dissing be beer wabraboimo. And what can say Oran Sama Woodwa Tama Samuel Okuja broker a year honorable. And now foreign minister Tama Wano together with Martin Pebu Dom Levomo. Woman kabo mu say oral team. Now woman hwehwe cases ahodua esiye under the NPP no out of 36 cases. Honorable Samuel Okujetwa Blakwa beka kire say Ghana so obaji sika no a. Woman Ghana say out of 36 corrupt cases under the NPP no Ghana so obaji sika akomu no a omo benya over $20 billion. Tiame Uni mniema akoso ukruma. Under the NPP. Womu benyo over $20 billion. But after the passage of Yile Kurano, na nado dakwa Akufo-Addo, Ken Oforiatta, Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, Asantri wo man Ghana se de ko IMF. Asankwaji a bailout of $3 billion. So man wo kire no. Nanso na corrupt cases na masie no. Over $20 billion were my Ghana sika under the NPP and Perifoni be a year so mubotom. What you want Ugusu ye media it is possible. Whatever you want to say, I want someone, but me and Kabrin promise say that be a mechanical crutch now. Especially Alhaji Bawumia wo petu mi bio enye san from so no mani wo man na wu ofi se ekwanya ye force di bu o man onte ase obi obaba di vice president no ye economist wo free abem no ye digital man he doesn't even know what he stands for. That is, I am being very blunt with you here. We'll keep telling you the truth. Now, if you want to say the memo, and won't say Mr. You go so I showed him. Say Listo Nana Kusipoku, executive director, Edema Good Governance Advocacy Group Ghana. Obetima Babaka and Sa. Ne ensure na to traffic work criminal in Yamano. Also nam kwanso woba. Nemum say see idea yembo hwi ni enko kanko not constituency. Ensure etoto and the flood eba. Ewuran crofo dem sen crofo japade me no ka say just o kanko not bebre anwo kire omo pa. So the member of parliament for Okankwe North Constituency, Honorable Teresa Ladi Awuni, Anna Wahunu na nipa hodo a womoti Okankwe North na ensuo abomoden asai wo majapade ewrewro mu fie na enema nkoso yie ma om enne menene kasa osi over 2,000 people and woman are affected by this flooding. Abey so far wono na nwodi mu ene mo kakra wanya nipa 300 na watimi aben wom na woni o matimi adi nkomo akekere wom wure de wo kan ya etwa me yem kura ne se ensuo eto etiye ewo Okankwe North ana ma mi suma ne mamienu oba wadi 20 years bema wadi 5 years say wom nko ya ade mre no wom ba no gata kese bi eda ho no wom tie mu no no mu nimi se ho nye akola ni nyina ekose gata num awo bra na ensuo no wom okutani nua ni nsasa edu ba bi ohu se emoya de no jan ni nua 5 years ne nsem abusia me ne okasa ba pem nne ni nua 5 years no wom hu am se gata yi no omugina ho no abofra 5 years no ensuo na mene no ba pem nne ne body kura wom anya abofra ne body wom anya tu hwe TV a enye bra power 979 FM or Facebook DSSSOCIATES Facebook not YouTube ye XYZ broadcasting inside politics jimedie bra be hwe kwanya blekuma no yafa san Okankwe North ensuo a hankrofo na abofra 5 years after mowu na ne body nso ayira wei ye kan say asoman efisa wo hwe wo nua no say ensuo to a ne bola na ewo no wo maso no fenkogu gatam wani chia wo hwe wo nua no say Ramsar site baby anka ensuo to e be kwakogu na mene no waton sasase na man so fe sini dai mo afele eti ensuo ni to a enkowo bio e be ba ofie. That is what we are saying. Tikrofo wa blekuma not a wo yaw atoom ana womo MP Honorable Teresa Ladi Awuni wono akwa wono ma wo chechire omwure na enema kakra wo se envelope ni nyina ebi su wo ma ebi musika se omo fento omo ansa ti ya hwe se de enema besi fa akwa because afienso Gmet amaya ti asese ensuo no ebeto yie pa abese da ba yie eti temporary measures ben na sabre yedi gu akwa mu na oye na wei ye hu ni kase bio because me ne wo de kase anwumre yi ensuo no betimi ase ya jam nato ya ba ne den abusa to adwumari no so ma wo sa ne mai ana ebigu so a ekoso ewo mai mu ye hwe sempenifo beboa na ye ntimamufo so ya boa ye ho obi tie me woto ne bola egu gatem ye nya several videos zoom na yo fo atwam abobo ya fo atwam yan to dwade no so mfama listo na na kusipoku dodo na freno nepoku okumkom ono no ye executive director de ma Good Governance Advocacy Group Ghana waba be kan yensa yenko na afi enen komo ahodo e wo ho no yenhya se emubom na na akwaba enua na oho te sen ehu ane mehefo hwiri hia wo ampa
na edu baby ana omani mu nsem no utia areho. And so and the whole bonny intino. Oh, Raho no be crown so any aje sanse yanwi echina yanwi enkwa achire yanwi hwe kan na say me ni abako pani ebobobo amayosem ho no encourage me say ewom se me kasa me yesi am wi o kra manfo ntie na so no e ma me mpa ba me ntonko so na say amayosem
yes
ya ye no me ama oman no
kwa men so
Ukraine can ya said there be American, but say yan secure no anka ya dwe be ye and say ebia senior brofokase o muka say yenye business as usual adia the most simple thing a chama yosem minima de kro
ani ehun
adia any kwan say nka yedin but ayedin because ebinum fee say it is time to make money till
tasana avenue ubetimi enrich
most people in politics no they find it the reason to make money. Most people underlined. I'm not saying everyone.
Most people.
But me so me dream say I was saying no cre where we have all admitted to one thing, say every problem solver is a money maker.
Yeah.
In the world.
Sure.
Once you are able to identify a problem
and solve them.
And what diagnose problem no? And who say, okay, this is the solution of the problem no? You should be on a journey to be making money. Senke san enketia kamini obia or politician or dream say politics is the shortest way of making money no menen be adwin. Because they will be problem solvers. But where the problem persists, exists, and continue to devastate the people, not yet to solve a problem, no. But people still want to make money out of the problem, no. That's where the failure begins. What am I saying? Any question say, and command way up, yedrum to be a yedri. And ki you got to be a swabi. Any question kebasa, any question and ka mamia ne mamienu ye jaba kwa ma say we ya ye hu baby o wompu no. Any question and kebasa abasa because there is a certain failure. Which failure is at the doorstep of politicians.
Anka we committee me aye simple
where abochira anka awufui comedy dipa. Because negligence to duty allow ma aqualatini koto drain ma drain de kono akwadidi ko be siu aban na waje compensation
if say I aban na
say then I own the beka ensu to na osuma oba na ye den then we blame the victim. Na de ye na adwuma wo so hwe adwuma na ye no ye gya no se wuntimi a enka ho meje eti hwe se opani na mu John Mahama ne de o ye de obetimi bia o hwe appointees hwe obi a yato abama no hwe nipo ya assemblyman hwe MP what is in their belly me bana mi tie fifi clear message but it's going to fall on rocks.
Are you sure?
Oh, how many times haven't we heard quality speeches? How has he impacted society? Clear message. Excellent. Mirahu, because you see, reset means a lot more than we see. Reset, and was said reset all facets of our life as a country. Say, any can say by now, your issue with problems of abia, gutter, issue flood, any question can say basa.
Because also my history since 1935, and Ghana recorded in major flood case. Way back.
So what have you learned?
Up to date.
Then you're showing free moon.
And only 11 years I'm a circle cry.
Yes. June 3rd. Yeah. Yeah.
And we are still experiencing the same thing.
So how progressive are we? What are the positives? Yes, sure be free. Sometimes as a may sing eulogies to John Mahama, but the people around him don't help him. Oh yes, he has a lot of quality. Oh, and he's able to predict the future. He's very predictive, and very decisive on what to do. But who helps him beyond the talk? Any problem? Oh, who say when what
yes.
Something with a
anti-flood task force.
Is that not a proactive leader?
Yes. And it has been
taking measures. Yeah. So we will be confident. Look, and there are people who will come at the person of Stambube, who will come at the person of whoever, and it's like I said, there is something behind the scene. And into the town. There's a committee now down in 10 years. I do not cry in yet.
They are saying it.
And sure, I go first and do better. I go for your Muhammad. Debbie. Oh, it's Yana the Casse. Yeah, here for no. Yeah, here for no. Then you're doable. Go ye bet you man so send back as we impact me best about chase you.
Honey bar.
Oh, yeah, any bar. You see, Abuja Boomba, who hear me na Nadia. So, Kuko Jana, now send this year. Oh, hear me. Sikani, what you pick up, oh, body about crying. Sikani, Okojama, one near Diano cry, would do a musical bunch, pick up you too. A bunch of say, oh, Musa say, oh, Miano, Sikani, Niriko Demo, one check. Ensuo kura mono ene wonye ni bia kodwa ensuo buno ama nyoma nyina aflade enutina se on se de bia ye ka corruption asema ahoke ka me de ka corruption no eye menti asie ni mihunu ene se de we sika na wode akose ni fie na wo die na John Mahama ban empese obagi sika ni tomo ende atemi general ni nina mo a aso mo ye kokwa asaro sika ni kebetima gata no uni gata dodo a sika ya wo boss ya Yusuf omuko di ye uni sika ni ekwan gata betima ye na so be ye hwe han na ka kire me say enye hwe de mu na di no ni kwa age sa wo so pe bi adi
unya bia obedi
enye sa wo pe bi adi unya bia obedi de na say wo pe so krokro no because adwene e be ba tirimu e betima ka kire say obi awia wo man sika na wo fa ene den enji sika no nka sabi ugnam ke de tia ne atu botom ye ye kromfo ne hu say eye manu sisumina so sabi enke na atu obi botom a enka wo beka bi
dabi
na de no man sika de obi awia no ye hu se nipa na awia sika no na ne dia ye den
adanse nyina tre
na ne dia na sa sika na wo nipa kura awia no ne dia ye den na politicians a hu ni nia na ono awia sika na no wasa ne na sere adientia ehame etietie me because sanki ewu so obi akrofo pan watimi awia ni wo tata yi ya oda sawam it brings us to one discussion that bia me pesi e have say sika akufo do mu awia no se odigu se niania it is more than 90% of how much money they accrued from 2017 2017 to 2025 January. Yes, it's more. They cannot account for 10% of the money they accrued within that time. They can't. They cannot. Akufo-Addo and his team. I don't think I can refer to what didn't want to buy no. What did bam? What done it? Because say you say a national audit. You busa say John Mahama within the 4 years na the first term no what the 54 billion and the bu my way ya enu sa focus interchange kan
yes focus interchange
e kan Ghana spent only $12 million in excess of the loan yakoji loan if African Development Bank
John
Mahama me say John Mahama na kwaje ebosia no every African Development Bank so me bra NPP ni nyima no bibia ni wonu ma nya John Mahama na yeye bibia John Mahama na yeye eno oja ho no wonko wo ba ye no say wo see on my way in your just 8 years no what ebosia in excess of 800 billion. Say yeah, fiscal decentralization. FBB fiscal decentralization. And would you find say 800 billion? Yeah. You calculate that. 800 billion. 800 billion. 800 billion.
Yes.
Chema 16 regions. Device 16. Region bia ebenya 50 billion. So what the 50 billion Eastern region only be betimi aye. Omo ya kronfo and that bia me to John Mahama mo for say sika na akura NPP for no is a national security threat.
Sika ko di omo hododo.
There is so much money with them. And the more now who jai some engines cano, they will use that money to buy votes to come and kill you and do you in. Because the more now the foolish they become, the most gullible they become because afeno mamiskana mentwaba ma. Ebedru hu NDC ni uba abemu no say the way to force aye French no when the business area. This is the only government I would just say if you want to internally generated funds I will organize here what in no so who dear this okoba to force am and ma approval and yes I would dear bet what to e to business can we in where we are e NPP ni na where we are can audit fie na wo so won yi no or the scan ba beto vote I mean to know me very confident say on be we in 2028 e ka won to be bet me be na no Ghana ha am robber I will no one not me bold e ka che say wo mesa be di so because when the defie kotina want no and I tell you na da bia brofo so brofo ne dey tie yi a enka broni na di so na no John Mahama ko ya akola ketu won ka risk control so who here want it Seka brofo ene ke di man so a eka kufo do kan nyansa ke chen yakopon enso se wo bia hu jimi ebo honta ene brofo eye nyansa ni nimdie ne de ti wiase eti de bia me de ya futuo safra de ya kokoko so ni nyoma kokoko so hwe nyoma akoso Ramsar site ye buavuo ye obitimi nya NDC ni na wa frame say me nkone minister regional minister nko kasa say onyai na obegu party no jimi wei e woni patirim obi akọ deti tebi kwa me nkoma de wajimi se wodi asase ato wo say yemmo sebi asase ne wo ban se ne be ya ensure to a e be kwa akota ho na enu kasa bi na betra awura fom wo kwa akota asase no e na wasi dan asi so ye bugu ya papa gokora bi ye bu ni da gu ye wa be chinchin nani ase ye se enu tete obi anya donation ma no ye wi ase ye di nyansa na tena wo se enti sure sase da wo du ahu eti me no ya na ha me say we are our own enemies and we are our own problems.
That's it. Ebreno.
To sum it up.
Yes.
Uheniwa, to move for what? Politician be one more. Obeti say show year funny bang.
Debbie.
To move for. Sa buy munipa. So be ekoton su sa asimo obi. Neka by now, eka di oton sa asene ma, Ramsar sa asene ma, ko focus dan no. Na wo sen ka by the national court.
Nko ye dinner sebe.
Ye dinner sebe not 12 years. Because apart from say what destroy and control lives, you know. What's up bomani ka? Unim eka no. Demolition unim ka o babo.
Yeah.
Bomani ka.
Lebo ye bre na so.
Etino. Enyama
na say we dey see was South Africa. Ghana for was South Africa. One more eba na dey keto abi o. Say Ghana for was South Africa over 25,000 Ghanaians. And there was South Africa. Hwe de nyema o man yi wo. Hwe gold, hwe diamond, hwe oil, hwe timber, rosewood. Minim de kode o man Ghana ni bi. Enti enti ananka Ghana ni be sorry na anka watu bata ebitimi kɔ ti se Dubai. Another ya me na wode ka say ubedu Dubai na nkrofo dabonten. Ghana for dabonten wo Dubai. Ghana for dabonten wo Kuwait. Ghana for dabonten wo amononi nkru ahodo bebre so. Ukwa America Ghana for dabonten. UK Ghana for that train station. Kwa Germany na kwahwe. Ghana for wo mu gina bonten na woman ni papers, woman ni adwuma pa bia ye na mom wo makokam ebinim wo ho a ticket kra wo de bebe fie aye den dia ma no wakwakoka anunti na abahwa His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama together with the Foreign Affairs Minister Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa ne NDC aban womunya te say Ghana for e was South Africa ha ya yen African continent yi so enye Europe South Africa. Woman sorry etia the other African nationals say woman mom who kwa bi mo tena krom ho. Ti omo hia na wonye South African. Na wo ye any other African national. No matu asha so woman bro wa ye videos ni wo bebre di a kire wo. Omampani John Dramani Mahama said abi. Wano wantimi ntina ho am obi fa yakayaka de enye ne dehye e wo bi man so. Tiena de amede wo de ka say on the 7th of June the next or second batch of Ghanaians for South Africa xenophobic attack South Africa for ebrim womono they are coming back home. Etim penifo ya de tumi amamo they yehwehwe free mo. What are the basic needs of the average Ghanaian? Baby obeda ne light be gina so ni nsuo eni maka krabi ekwan ya obefa so hospital or yare obekom wawie. If Impenifua are able to put these things in order, who is going to complain? If you travel to Europe, these are the basic things that Wamayama citizens know. And Wamayama flexible. So far as our year Juma say iPhone 80 crown beba nena ukwa, they will give you some. Na bosome neswa wama teto 20, 30 cities, 40 cities. Kwa pim time a obetu awie sa wo pedanya de yan se wo ye adwuma wonya akọ me pedan me ye adwuma wa ha me bibia ne me nkrata ne monye womunya hwem na ampa saa na tie a yebema wo dan na yedi atetewo nkakra saa. These are basic necessity for the average Ghanaian. Sani emei sanka eyade ededa na kwam wo krom ha. Aban na sisi adan ahodo. Abroche sa na omoye no. Abroche yifa na wo kwakoto asase se okosi dan. Ni atetewo nkakra na wo de tua opeka owuraka company wo de documents akọ enu pe na omudi bi ti Ghana. Nanka Ghana ni bibini and sorry fi krom wan kwatena awom for 8 solid months. Abrochire because do Europe as our time na ye +2 keke no. E wana me ti wiase ase. E wana me hunu se e wiase mu gwa hodo. 8 months opie bi o she jacket. Suno to ahomate 3 am no namu. Na sika no kura won saka wi a obi sa obetua. O rent every month, o water, o light, o telephone, internet, o bus. Niema obetua no. Se one year extra hours kura na sika ni nyina ba system no be sam mini sika ni nyina back. I have friends all over. America, Canada, Germany, UK, everywhere. We talk almost all the time. We talk. And one more ka, bra, ye nimse say na niema bi ti anka ya ma. Abrochire ye tia rent every month o. Eti wadwuma say na woni savings bi agu ho a bosome ni nya so pe you are out of the room ukwa koda train station. Nobody cares. Say bia ukuta nkrata de a wo yaji watum se krom wo yenim se wote wo de a ene obetima akwa aban wo say o madwuma say na aban ma ba bia tena ni wape kakra de ama wo kopim time obenya adwuma foforo no wato aso aye. There's no resting place. Ewa brochimemu adichi obi aye busy Ghana ha enama ni echia good morning oh good afternoon now want to say you won't say it there. Nobody cares. Obi aso ya yeso na what dia de no a wo de kwa adwuma wo betena tire mu na afa na akoko chia no headset si obi aso 247 minding the business. Kwa ba na me hunu say wo mind Ghana ye heaven. Me tu kwa ba ye no ana me hunu say wo man we ye heaven. Eti da bia me ka kire mo say me enka brempo me ni ba bia akọ. Me ni ba bia me ka say me tu kwan na me kọ na ahanom na me kọ pe na manya sika bi because sika wo mind Ghana ha. Si enyampanifu a wo mo do mind Ghana ha. Wo mo bia o makoma mu say wo mind no e be da o manim no ma ye o mind ni yi a obi ani beje. Wo bia ngo beto no ama ya tena ye mamu. Wo bi ne kunu ati abrochire ebi wa na watwe na wo mani nhyada nsiai wo because we kwa adwuma anajo we kwa adwuma no pa we beba na we kwa apart from maybe a Sunday and a holiday I bet you na fie but Ghana your system ni sade eche so I was see enya odode mo man no I was see enya tema because to me mako bako pe na aba mom de but to me the best place to live because Europe now me go this 6 nights me do Monday Tuesday Wednesday me flight for say e be yan ko mo fa emra me se Friday ma me pese afa me twa 5 nights pe na charges are na wo se me tua kan ho na me ja chere say nya hwe Friday ni Sunday de bedu no ma ba me krom enuane kura wo mo di no ho enuane jefufu o Ghana na enwa ne mre da so na apata yi egu akire a onya no wo ba bia wo wiase we mo ti me kada bia wa ha ba bia wo man na du no abro party so tie me abro me ye party we ni dabi e wo se wo man ne wo do emra ye mu ansa South Africa semi kura no e wo se twe adwen ba so say there is no place like home. Ghana for wa bro kire o mu nyom bebe fie but wakwa waste years no wo ho abrochire ma ebinim kura ntimi anware abrochire ama ebinim ntimi anwo ba ebinim ntimi anya hwe the way our design system no wo ho no unko bi da ye ka ubon se twetwe waso ba bokoboko na ukotom woje visitors visa na ukotom wie a ana obeti abrabase eti Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams one founder general overseer Edema Action Chapel International and what is semi etudwa enra de ya wo mra sebedwama wo bra na the 4th African Interparliamentary Conference on Family Sovereignty and Values no what the two dwa no kire say si enya gidie yenya opepa yenya odo yebu ya mamre ne ya mane wo krom ha ne yesi ye be manage ye natural resources ye yen gold yen oil yen diamond yen rosewood yen timber bibi biara ye wo man mu ye manage ne ye a there is no way Ghana ni be kwa kiu ade chi akohwe kwa Canada visa application anymore kwa American embassy kwa other embassies Ghana for able youth and come betim de o ma adwene o munim de abo o man yi no wo bia ni da so ya brochire awo ne pressure pene o awo any pressure stress unyo obi kra no ne di nkomo ti sa sami sempedifo tie Ghana for yen letie yekọ bankrom ni yehunu se ba bia o man na du no yendo wo man no ansa yandwere Ghana ho ansa asane yadwene ye party ho a wo man we be ye kese wo man we be ye sikaman ahoto beba o man we mu ama ye nyina ye kyerema ye ne age wo sa dwumadie na se a under the chief of staff of the Republic of Ghana Honorable Julius Debra editu bia se wo Africa hanom no mra sebedwam ye baabi baako a abiribia ejina ho na so kabima minka bia mamuo mu ti abiribia eno ana wo hwe a aka wo se yen democracy yen culture yen bibia ye no etimi ebo modern ne som na pushing sebeye na wo man be koso afa ne ntema pa bi di afra yentie the chief of staff of the Republic of Ghana Honorable Julius Debra wo bra enu ade ya mra sebedwam ho no wono so de na no disem etuja
across our continent. Parliament remain amongst the most important guardians of democratic legitimacy. Government may propose policy, but it is through Parliament that national aspirations are debated, refined, and transformed into enduring laws. The decisions taken by legislators often outlive administrations and shape the trajectory of nations for generations yet unborn. Our young people are growing up in a world where information moves instantly across borders and where competing ideas are only a click away. The answer is not isolation. The answer is confidence. The greatest threat to African values is not technological nor globalization. It is hopelessness. A young person who sees opportunity in their own country becomes a stakeholder in the future of his country. A young person who sees no future becomes vulnerable to every form of disillusionment. Our ultimate defense of African values lies in our ability to provide quality education, create dignified jobs, expand economic opportunities, and ensure that every young African can see a future worth believing in. A sovereign nation must be capable of feeding its people, educating its children, protecting its vulnerable, creating opportunities for its youth, and financing its own development priorities. Across Africa, our citizens do not judge sovereignty by the speeches we make. They judge it by whether the lights stay on, whether jobs are available, whether schools educate, whether hospitals heal, and whether government keeps their promises. The ultimate expression of sovereignty is the capacity of a nation to solve the problems of its people. That is why discussions about cultural sovereignty must be accompanied by discussions about economic sovereignty. We must build economies capable of supporting the social systems we seek to protect. We must strengthen domestic production, support African enterprises, expand regional trade, and create pathways to prosperity that are anchored in our own priorities and realities.
The Chief of Staff of the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Julius Debra, no de tuga se was abribiano, na sebedwem eye biaya yen kabi mami kabi amemwa ya ebu wo mutimi esom na gina pintin sebeye na wo man Ghana betimi akoso na afa na ntema pa bi efra na Ghana ni de se wo wa ha no se obehunu se bibia amemwa okoye ma no a obisa ne ho adwuma a wo ye obisa ne ho se school be na okọ school be na ne makọ se wo yare a obenya hospital na wotimi akwakwagye ayarehwe papa bi ana ehye fa no de ne tito. It is only that time Ghana ni be say okay amemwo no ekoyie said the medical akeka kire wono. These are basic necessity. What say eni se wo bia bre wo man bia mu ase no nya ba bi ode ne tibeto eni se obi abre wo nsuo ho eni se obi abre wo nkane ho eni se obi abre enyuma ayarehwe ho sa ne mai ana man hu se okay amemwo koso bibia etoto na kwemo enti se wo bi bedi ade se mampani na se wanwene temamufo ho babi atemamufo beda enyuma temamufo pe ayaresa bia hodo atemamufo ebedi ayarehwe wo ho schools atemamufo ebebomodin se wo mo bekobi no matinimde ne nkane asem se ne nkane abegina so ye co-store so ye barbering shop se wode kanea epamade ana wode kanea di dwumadie bia no etesan sane mai na temamini bia hwehwe na kwan anunti na dabia meka kire wo se no won kwankwa satade bia pacha tade bia because when na me betoi wei ane ye wo mitum wei ye di twa mafuruma ana ye dan na mo behwe se impact ban ana mampani kro impact ban ana aban kro ne bae no wo bomode na ba wabrabom eti yenye tie ye ana la polyclinic wo ana na dan kwakufuado Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia wo mo bebugu ye la polyclinic ana afei the people of La and its enclaves womunya baby kura enko enja yarehwe aje omko chire 37 and other places but na La polyclinic si wono 8 years and another kwakufuado Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia omo bebugu from enei yanko La polyclinic then esi wo under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama womu ya na se womu nyai womampani John Dramani Mahama wako wana se wonko ho weni kandini weni leader weni wadwene wo man no dwene wo man no womu atim ho enti amemwo enye brofo akese amemwo enye kenke party amemwo enye se sikada ho nti yemfa $100 million yemfa ko to amana in the name say ye pese esi cathedral edema nyankropon na Ghana for na obedada yen would free SHS beba bedada yen say oh sukuu ni ye be kon free nanso wo wura mu a ana wo be hu say wo kon free na free no etisen another me no de ka say den esi under the leadership of John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, and the Education Minister, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, what say by the end of 2027, double track system and another kwakufuado, Alhaji Bawumia, added by free SHS, say Akwalako school 1 month, or Timbetie free 3 months, no, ban a ye. It's infrastructure, Saho Dua, and YCC, was schools, secondary schools, Saho Duum. Meaning, Krakoya Brigades. They are putting up infrastructures. Ebetimi accommodate and mofrado do na free SHS inti woman ya kwenya ko school no. This is governance. This is leadership. Hwenuane a woman de ko free SHS schools no. Ama storekeepers se wo free SHS bebire o se wo mu wi anuane ne sa keke. Report bebire aba. Inti me come in the America. And if I want to point it out, I will show you videos. Schools are what are one pantry for storekeepers, one we are free SHS in Yane. Because Ebusu and then another Danko Kufado Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, yet to some of the free SHS schools to Nibimu because there were no food for this case. I don't need school more. One bedi din so agari and kwan shiro do near the amawam bɛyɛ de na kwara no atimi abuild wo ma adwene wa hoɔden ne nyansa mu na wo masua de so emira pa ho sɛ wo bɛba data yɛn wo bɛka biribi a tra saa ne adi akyire Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia 2024 say afɛ kura de school feeding no ɔbɛ digitalize no ɛwai enti saseɛ sisa wadwene na hu ne sɛ baabi a ɔman Ghana adu no yɛn nyinaa yɛ pia na afro baabi pa yɛn nyinaa yɛ sesɛ sɛ yɛn ne yɛabrɛ ɛwɔ amammuo bɔne bi a ebi atwitwa mu kɔ deda no a yɛmbɔ kwan a yɛn mma no a ɛreba no wɔn mu ntumi mmɛbrɛ saa brɛ no a wɔbrɛɛ no nhyira ɛwɔ ɔman Ghana mu ha no nhyira ahotɔ asomdwe agye sɛ wo na woyɛ wo nipa bɔne na wo se saa nneɛma wei wobɛyɛ bɔnesɛm ɛma w'ani ntumi angye bi but ɛba ne nhyira asomdwe ahotɔ wɔ wiase nyina me nkɔ baabi ayɛ ba baabi kakra bi a mede me nan akɔ akɔsi asenya ba kurom ano I can boldly tell you say wɔman Ghana wofiri kuro wɔ mu wohu ne sɛ wɔ baabi abi oda wohu no bi oda ti yɛ nyina yɛnkɛ adwene mom asɔfoɔ mpanimfoɔ obi biara Edu bra for once obedo ɔman no edu bra ubeyiri politics every wadwiri mu ahemfo edu bra ubeyi yenko kasa asɛm o yenko yesei enye ya ban na ɛwɔ so enti yenko yesei na ɛfa pressure any tension bra ɔman no atwam unyo obi an support obi o if the now you to na eba ni nyina no womu hunu amamuo womu ti amamuo ase especially womu hunu na Dankwa Akufo-Addo amamuro from 2017 up to 2025 now womu sign experience His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama amamuo from 2025 up to 2026 year ye womu yi eto saying so we kind of credit akyere ho a ene go airport before President John Dramani Mahama Befiso 2016, now we see Terminal 3 a year. What the 4 years? Now we see airport. Terminal 3, now we see a year. And now Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia Betinaso. Airport from scratch. 8 years. One month baby omode bakopesi ye. Koye Kumasi, koye renovation, koye pache niema. Oh, I international airport. I use Ghana's car 2024 at the international flights at Kumasi. Apart from that day, the Ben one international flight ewo Kumasi obio. Ufia broche na uba, uya Santinia, ucha ticket na, wo de be Kumasi direct na. Yan kano krenchre ho. Yan yan futugu emfutua ye tugu Ghana fo na ni no. Yan yai. So many ye or say Ghana fan and tema pabi fra or many asiapenia bredodo Ghana bre and it is all because of bad leadership. I can the phobia na pesami kuminya yanko ya bom yanye sanse say yanye say and 70 bi wa home eya yen pese ye beko because yenya boss pe na ka yen yawo yenya boss pe a giant tipa here, some of the bad leadership I experience we don't want to go back. Because baby our may assess ya pikifi. Me say, so far as nyame Adam, ye one kwa, ye one hoarding, ni ye go so this media way, abiribia. Ye be kind of credit the actual. Can I say so? Say inside politics, Jumedia so, ana no krebia fito. No jandam. No politics, nothing. The raw truth, no matter who is doing it, no matter the party, no matter the government. Because here ready to me now. Say Jennifer Yensi say pa. We are the ya haya ebe born sama ma. Say nyenso a ejabeto. I will say church media so the amount live on TV XYZ and Power 97.9 FM inside politics Jumedi Isunie. Yanko today in history, June 4th, 1979, and the former late president, His Excellency Flight Lieutenant J. John Rawlings a leading uprising wɔ man Ghana mu a na ɛno no ɛyɛ abanya na wɔte so yɛ SMC government under the General FWK Ekufo na wɔn ɛsɔre yɛ hardship ahodoɔ na ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ ɔman mu unpaid salaries sɛ wohwɛ economic hardship rampant indiscipline kyerɛ sɛ nneɛma ahodoɔ na ɛkɔ so saa time no ɔmampanin dada a wɔanya ne baabi korɔ ɛyɛ J. John Rawlings ɛsɔre gyina sɛ dabi saa nneɛma yi deɛ yɛntumi nhwɛ ama ne nkɔ so wɔ kurom ha enti yɛn yɛbɛko ateɛ gyina ne ahwɛ sɛ wɔ man no ɛbɛtumi afa ne ntɛm apa bi de afira yɛnkɔ ne yɛnkɔnkɔhwɛ in history today history ɛyɛ June 4th nneɛma ahodoɔ a ebi sisi yɛn mmra yɛbɛbɛto aso.
Fellow citizens, 13 years ago, on June 4th, 1979, patriotic officers and men of the security services initiated the popular uprising to defend the honor and dignity of our country. The massive response of Ghanaians to the national house cleaning exercise was a clear testimony to the desire of our people to chart a new course. June 4th was thus a time of rebirth and renewal. It was the day when the ordinary people of this country moved their own motion of destiny and pledged ourselves to a vision of a new Ghana of freedom, justice, and accountability. Fellow citizens, this vision must continue to inspire us as we enter into the final stages of the processes leading to constitutional rule. These processes have derived from our commitment to protect and consolidate the democratic aspirations of Ghanaians, as was made manifest on June 4th, 1979 and 31st December 1981. Indeed, 31st December reaffirmed the validity of June 4th, 1979. Today, in commemoration of the uprising, we honor the bravery and self-sacrifice of those who died in the cause of June 4th. The greatest tribute we can pay to them is a resolve that they did not risk their lives, suffer, and sacrifice in vain. May the principles of social justice, accountability, and participatory democracy continue to guide the conduct of all our affairs. Long live June 4th, long live Ghana. Thank you very much.
And Flight Lieutenant J. John Rawlings, the late President of the Republic of Ghana, Anna Walker, in 1979, June 4th, wamo sorry ya, wamo eji tumi kasiye wokromwa, enam niema awodwa na ekoso wokromwa, biti sese ne nam eboboso no, enkrofo yawa na omudi, wamo ye adwuma kra na yentie bi ne muka na ohwe kwan na economy no aye dedenden ewo krom ha wo fa ha indiscipline wo fa ha chese de na ekoso no na nye enti May 15 1979 ana J. John Rawlings sorry here and some junior military officers yes wamo be ye coup atia the then Supreme Military Council etosumienu no ananete wo man so a no wo hwe wo man no ate se aban ananete so anahwe wo man no de ebeye biara na wo mo sori se da bi sankrofoi ate ye kon so ye adwuma kura wo mo ntua ye nka economy no ye ho kire yen ye nya sika kura mfa nya bibia wo fa ha no ma indiscipline kwaso de obi apɛ no ye enti J. John Rawlings edi anim ama saa eye ku no efeli wo bra eye soja ni pani pa baako ekoi na woko GBC kwa announce say ku na ekoso no efeli enyade a asosidi ansana June 4th eye J. John Rawlings ene ne mpedifo anu omo ye no womo sign take over womo ehyasia say eniema hodo bi ana enkoyie ewo man Ghana ha ana omo complaining economic hardship unpaid salaries or delayed salaries and indiscipline ahodo ana ekoso no wo mo bebo modern na wo ma yesan tutu ye hyehyeye no man Ghana timi afa ne ntama pa bi e de afira no kura nipa hodo ebi firi mu nipa bebre efiri mu ebi preprai niema bebre ne koso but in the end eho ana niema ehyase a na Ghana ehyase se niema eguso ehyehye ewo kromo a edeba yenkohwe today the 47th anniversary of June 4th anniversary akoso ne the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman, kopie wo dwumadi na se na no disema o de tudwa e wo dwumadi na se yenko tieni mra bebe to dwumadi ne so
yebedi eye enfie edu 9 enson asem si ye sa asem de nyina nso yenim yabaka ho abakosam a kire yen ene enim bebia na oman na ababedu ene bebia yewo kasa ne de yate ne bebre na ne nyina nso ho hia aka bebi Christ ase etibio eka ho esi emu bio wo ho a yete ne ba ko a ya na ke yepese ete no bebre ansa na aka yetrim ne yaba beka no yeda obi ase mo beka bandasam yeda mo ase yabeka NDC so the history of the party. We want to thank everybody who's made that possible. We've also heard some of the directions in which we should take as a party. There's a reason why we became a party. That should never escape our minds. We came because we thought there was something going wrong. If we are here, we must right that wrong and ensure that the rightness of what we have established remains. And it has to remain in the lives of everybody. Whatever policy we bring should translate in the physical lives, in the everyday life of people. Whatever policy that we work so hard to factor in our manifesto must mean the way in which we are implementing this manifesto to better the lives of people. We have seen our ministers. I want to commend them. And I want all of us to be mindful. This is the first time in the history of this country that we are working with so little number of ministers. I pray a lot for them, and I urge that we all pray for them. Why do I say so? Because they are managing their constituencies. They are managing their parliamentary duties. If they are members of cabinet, they are also managing their cabinet responsibilities. And they are also managing the ministries, and some of them even without deputies. This is huge sacrifice. We should encourage them to do even more than they are doing. And it will depend on all of us when they bring the policies out, how we implement them. So all of these are important. This is the same way as I commend our MMDCs. They are also doing a yeoman's job. And I want to thank all of you for coming along with us. We are resetting our institutions. And Chairman, thank you very much. And we'll send the message to the Police Council, of which I'm very proud to chair. So definitely we'll ensure that, we can't say everything here, but I just want to assure you that these are not issues we can afford to forget. But going forward, I want to urge all of us. Sometimes when we look at the past, we see the problems. We should. And we should keep the problems in mind, because the problems are there to be solved, and that is why we are there. But at the same time, we must also feel encouraged by our achievements. As I said, this is the first time we are working with so few ministers. We are trying so hard to save our resources so that the resources go to improve the lives of people. We know what we are doing. It is not for nothing, and it's not by accident that we are paying attention to our roads. throughout our country during the campaign, everybody requested roads. And these are justified because we traveled the roads, we saw the difficulties. When you are living on a road where it is dusty from morning to night, it's not a cup of tea. It is not a joke. You know, we are working on the markets, and the markets are of special attention to me. Now it is raining, and a lot of our women work in the markets. What are they going to do? Even if there's no roof, when the ground is muddy, who is going to buy their wares? And some don't even have a good place to stay. So how are they going to feed themselves or their families? So investing in markets is very, very important for us. Then, of course, our hospitals, our chiefs' compounds. So this is how we are planning to spend national resources. We are planning to spend it in the ways that affect all of us. Whether you decide to get sick or not is beside the point. The body will decide what it wants to do, and you need a hospital. So these have not been isolated for the fun of it, because we are looking at what affects all of us. We know very well that in terms of jobs, all of these will create some jobs. We know we have not been able to give everybody a job. It bothers us too. I would have been the happiest if everybody had a job. I know it has not happened yet. We want to beg for your patience. Work with us as we make things better and as we improve the system. And I want to end, everybody cut down their speeches, so I cannot be seen to be the one to take everybody's time. So I want to end by saying that we can all send this country to the level we want it to be. And everybody has a role to play. Regardless what you are doing, whether it's your business, whether it's farming or fishing, whether it's teaching or healing, whatever you are doing, it is important. And we urge you to do it to the benefit of the people who are at the receiving end of your efforts. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to congratulate all of us. We have come 47 years since. We have much further to go. And it's not just counting the time. It is about the quality of the impact. And as I said, it depends on all of us. We can make Ghana much better today than it was yesterday. We can make it much better tomorrow than it is today. And I'm counting on all of us, everybody, to come on board. And I know you will. Thank you, and may God bless you.
The Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor J. Nano Pokwajman, and our training Kasa Wakasa, June 4th, 47th anniversary, Akoso Enede. Na afi Ori County ana wobobo enema hodo achievement ahodo aban wa achieve kra wo betenem ebobo ye MCs DCs aban mu mpanifo a wo mu nyina wo bibiara de na hoden eba se beye na wo man Ghana betimi akoso afa ne ntema pa bi de efra na wo hwe wo ka se wo mo hwa NDC aban ba yi ade ba kwa wo tu na ni asisu so obeye akwan na sa akwan no enye se fa na ye omfeso mbeye nemum womo ye campaign no womo bon sra wo man Ghana mu aka wo nsem a kire Ghana fo se womo fa tumi ma wom na wo medi o man Ghana so no na temamufo ahodo a baby a regions constituencies baby o mbewura no na omo complaini se womo kwanye na omo complaini se womo kwanye enti na womo baye womo bomode a womo hwe se womo beye science ni nyina se wo hwe market a womo sisi across the 261 mmdas wo bia enya your friend saying 24-hour economy market na sefata na senya swame eye interchange ne nchen market ne ben ho kwa hwe ba bia mame 40 no moto ade atechem se tam wasante man dem atechem na nsuo etoi ehin fa no mbetena no matimi adigwa no ho atom ti aban de na sade ne so be ya ade a ebetimi aboa na temamufo ho atom nti Ghana ha nyina ba bibia obi awo wɔn fa na ahoɔden mmra wɔn fa na adwene mmra wɔn fa ne support mmra na wɔn tie aban wɔ akyi sɛ bɛyɛ na nneɛma pa a esi wɔn ani soso mbɛtumi ayɛ wɔn ɔman no wɔn ayɛ ne saa pɛpɛpɛ.
ne gyina ne nan so no ɛsɛ wɔn yɛ nipa a wɔn mpɛ sisie wɔn pɛ pɛrepɛre yɔ wɔn na ɛka yɛn ho bom sɛ yɛyɛ democracy wɔ ɔman mu a democracy no etimi kɔ n'anim na mmom democracy no ɛnyɛ adeɛ a yɛkɔtɔ no store ne yɛde abɛsi ɔman mu santan sɛ afei democracy no ɛmmɛsɔ timamufoɔ no na nsesa wɔn na wɔn ntimi ɛnane fair-minded people ɛno nso deɛ kɔ akɔsia ne sɛ democracy is built by democratic and fair-minded citizens. It is not democracy that creates democratic and fair-minded people. June 19th is here, and also yɛbɛkyerɛkyerɛ mu akɔ yɛnim. Na masɛm a mede twa toɔ ɛne sɛ yɛn nyinaa yɛnim sɛ amammuo a ne yɛtimu yi na ɛnyɛ papa enti yɛn nyinaa yɛka yɛn ho bɔ mu sɛ yɛko ne atu abammɔne afiri hɔ yɛkɔɔ saa ako no mu no ebinom de wɔn nkwa ɛbɔ afɔdeɛ ansa na yɛtumi asesa aban saa nipa no ɛbɛyɛ nipa nwɔtwe a wɔn hwere wɔn nkwa wɔ bere a na yɛto aba na yɛyɛ abatoɔ nhyehyɛ ne asesa amammuo no ama democracy ama President Mahama waba abɛyɛ president na yɛ control parliament say wɔn hwere wɔn nkwa na Ghana ni biara yɛ ne pɛ sɛ yɛkɔto aba pupo biara mam basabasa biara emam etimi de mesra ka sɛ si ebetimi anya saa botae no de a na wɔ sɛ de wadi bɔne asti atwa na so na yɛka sɛ yɛto abawie na nipa a yɛkunkum wɔ mo abatoɔ no mu nipa a prapra yɛma etuo nkɔtwere baabi a atwere a etuo no bɛtwere hɔ a ɛmfeɛ nan ayɛ a na tuo no asan asɔre na mmom sɛ obi di bɔne na onim sɛ mmara wɔ hɔ a yɛde nipa no bɛfa so a kyerɛ bi sɛ abatoɔ duru so anaa biribi duru so ɔman adwuma bi duru so na biribi yɛ no sɛ ɔnkɔdi bɔne na ɔnyina so fa ne nkonim a na dwen mu bɛtwe no sɛ mekɔyɛ a kyena asɛm bi bɛsi na yɛgyae sɛ yɛto aba wie a biribiara nkɔtwere baabi atwere deɛ a ɛneɛ abatoɔ bɛduru so a ayamhyehyeɛ nko ara na ɛde bɛba ne kaa den na yɛahwɛ yi a obi a yɛko ne nua no na biribiara nsi a ɛmpɛ na ano bɛso no ɔno nso bɛyɛ no adwene sɛ abatoɔ berɛ ɛne ɛtumi kum nipa fa ɛho didi a ɔno nso ma ne tuo so a ahwɛ a na waka sɛ ɔkɔdi bɔne enti mɛgyina ɛnna adwumadie so masɛm a meka nyinaa ne sɛ yɛde nkra ɛkɔma IGP ɛne na polisifoɔ sɛ yɛate sɛ President Mahama wama wɔn ɔda sɛ nipa nso a yɛkunkum wɔn wɔ abatoɔ no mu no yɛnhwehwɛ mu na deɛ asotwe fata no yɛmfa nkɔgyina mmerɛ nim bɛsi nɛ yɛnte ho hwee na yɛn adwumadie yi megye di sɛ yɛn nua Sellers ɛwɔ ha nkɔwɔ adwumadie yi ase Sellers wɔ bi kyɛmɛ na yɛku no wɔ saabie no bɛsi nɛ yɛnte ho hwee yɛtwa yɛ IGP kaburo no bɛbɔ a kaburo no yɛtwɛn me nua Tajudeen Alasan ɛne Abdallah Ayarik wɔn nso fi Tachiman Saf ɛno nso abatoɔ mu yɛtwe tuo bobɔ wɔn peepeepee yɛn nyinaa hu no wɔ video so ɛno nso yɛ papa IGP president say yɛn hwehwɛmu na fa mu aebra yɛn nyina so ntu anamɔ yɛn nua Shaibu Haruna ɔno nso tɔlɔn yɛde abatoɔ ɛkɔ collation center every nyankwala ɛno nso etutuo fa aka mu ɛne kuru no ɛno nso yɛsi presi hwehwɛm na nipa a wɔde bɔne yɛn famra yɛnte ho hwɛ besi nnɛ na no mekɔ esire mu kura no na busuafoɔ ne partyfoɔ ɛwɔ hɔ yɛ demonstration sɛ yɛpɛ justice ɛde ama saa aberante no yɛbɛsrɛ IGP ho yɛ akyɛ Abbas Ibrahim a ɔno nso firi Ablikuma Central ɔno nso yakunu ebesi nnɛ ɛnte hwee Kasoa ɛno nso yɛkuro bi wɔ hɔ yɛnte ho hwee it is the ministry has a strengthening of state institutions gidie bɛba mu a na gyina kwan a state institution no so ɛfa so yɛ n'adwuma enti mesrɛ sɛ polisi adwuma no wɔn nyina wɔn nan so nyɛ wɔn adwuma na gidie mfiri mu ɛma na Ghana fo hunu sɛ wodi bɔne na polisi ba obedwane afiri hɔ ɛno nti abusuafoɔ ɛnɛ me masɛm a mede baa yɛ nyinaa ne sɛ mo nyinaa baabi a wo bi a kan yɛ ho nneɛma pressure sɛ de bɛyɛ a saa nipa kunkum a yɛku wɔ mo wɔ abatoɔ mu no ɛto bi twa ɛfiri sɛ electoral violence ɛsɛ sɛ ɛto twa ɛwɔ President Mahama Nabrɛ so odododio yɛkum bi saa enti yɛntumi nka sɛ wobɔ obi ani so ɛwɔ da foforo bi a yɛkye kotum abato du so na obo bi ani so de anu afa ho adi yɛyɛ no saa ɔman enko yie madam nyina ase yɛma mo nyina finshapa
of the NDC Johnson said nketia ano no so enei the 47th anniversary edema June 4th okopie mu na ne nsɛm ahodo de tudwa 7 de wabie mu yata wakyerem a wɔhwɛ sɛ wobi biara wadi bɔne obi biara especially ye to aba na ye de akyere amanyoko ko a ye pese o medi oman bi so na ebi fa kwambone so ebubu ebumutuoku wom Destr0ys south said that bunkotodwe epometuo boni party se de sabi obofo enam wuram no hwa abobi ko 2020. This happened under the leadership of the former president Nana Akufo-Addo and Alhaji Bawumia. Woman kan wo hwe woman nya wo hwe asisi eti obi konsukunu America na Nana Akufo-Addo ni condolence because see a bagana krom ha Destr0ys south ha e boni petuoku no ti se ne ye bo aboatuo wan kan wo hwe da ehun ahia da because eno no mo yei de bebetina to me so I second what the party chairman is saying. Kwan bia so IGP Christian Tete you know was how the nation from the perpetrators of that act I want mu bo ni petuoku wom ye beto aba bo ni petuo under the NPP pe and a city member of parliament ye born so to okromo a e violation ya bonasum a city member of parliament not party tax e bono live on camera and bapemune Nana Akufo-Addo ntimi akasa ntiada Alhaji Bawumia ntimi akasa ntiada enai will be a normal member of the NPP kura eka ensemwa ehontie ensemwa ebon ensemwa egunipa hofi ni yakofa ne so onyi na no a na bi Ababejina say, oh, this is way ye take nipa fa hodie so human right violation na wakasa ya boss city member of parliament asum Sandoch. Our violation city member of parliament. Because you didn't here. I was uncle Saj Media Nasia 50 Abi Kweti. The general secretary of the ruling National Democratic Congress, NDC. One also copy Jumadi and Asibi, now what in another sem etuga,
This nation is also blessed because we happen to be the nation that exactly is at the very center of the planet. The nation where the 0 degree meridian, what we call the Greenwich meridian, passes, and it passes through Tema, and the places that connect with the zero equator. And so exactly the very center of this planet. That is what this country is. There is something special about us. Not because we are special people, but because the creator of heaven and earth chose that this land will be a place where something great will happen, not just for Africa, but for the world. We won independence in 1957, and 22 years exactly after that, 1979, on June 4, something happened. It actually started 20 days earlier on May 15th. And what happened on May 15th that led to June 4 was clearly not an accident. And the very fact that it took 22 years after independence for that to happen itself again is significant. Because the gentleman that led that process on the day was also born exactly on 22nd of June. So there's something significant that happened 22 years after our independence. That happened because this nation that was blessed, a nation that was destined to bless the world, was drifting into darkness. Selfishness, greed had taken over completely. Leadership had been reduced to nothing but just me, me, me. It's all about me. How to orchestrate, how to cheat, how to lie, how to exploit. That's what leadership became. And when leaders become that corrupt, become that selfish and that greedy, it affects the whole nation. So all over the country, what you saw was nothing but a country engulfed in indiscipline, in selfishness and greed. And one man was chosen. And this man, right from his childhood, was a man who believed in justice. A man who hated greed, who hated lying, who hated exploitation, who cannot stand people being cheated, who had the conscience to fight for his country and his nation. And God used him to do something, to set a flame. And that beautiful flame that is blazing there is simply a signal of the fact that a nation blessed was being taken down, and something needed to happen to set out on that motion. That process that started on June 4, 1979, actually is exactly the foundation that has led us to this democracy we see today. This democracy that has become enduring today. Again, it came through the instrument of that one man. That one man, after May 15th, when he was literally on the point of being killed, executed, because according to what he had done, he had to be court-martialed, which was treason. So he, together with the 6 others who were with him, was supposed really to be executed. He stood bold, confident, and said he was prepared to die. Why? Because what he was fighting for was not about himself, was not about his young daughter who was just 1 year old, Zanette of Rawlings, was not about his immediate family, was not about his friends. It was about a country of millions of people that needed to see hope, that needed to see a leadership of truth and selflessness. He was prepared to die. And those who are prepared to die for what they believe are those who truly are worthy to be leaders. You cannot be a leader if you are not prepared to die for your conviction. And that's why I want to say that because of how blessed this country is, and the destiny that is ahead of this country, it is important for us, especially at the National Democratic Congress, to appreciate that this party did not come as a result of orchestration. This party was not born because one individual was desperate to scheme his way to leadership. This party was born because an individual has fire in his belly, his conscience pricking, and the fight for his country, the truth, that people should be liberated, that fire that blazed in his heart, that was the beginning of this party. And we've been blessed. Apart from he emerging naturally, the leaders that have followed him so far in Prof. Mills, natural emergence. No orchestration, no manipulation, no passing corners, trying to deceive his way into leadership. No. He actually was not even interested in leadership. He had to be approached 3 different times to even accept the position of vice president. That is the spirit of the NDC. That is the spirit that came from June 4. No selfishness, not greed, but the desire to serve, because that is what is that when the time comes. The same for John Mahama. He also ran away literally from the leadership. It took a lot of effort to convince him to become vice president. Now, when you see people who say we don't want the leadership, those are genuine leaders. When people show too much greed, too much desperation for leadership, they are not real leaders. That's what we saw in Akufo-Addo. That's what we saw in Bawumia. And that has led to the cases that have followed this country between the 8 years that they've been here. Because you are desperate, you lead the country into shame, into regret. So my plea to all people who are aspiring for leadership of our country, especially at the NDC, cut out the desperation, cut out the selfishness, cut out the thinking that this is about you. You must orchestrate left, right, and center. No. As Comrade Shine Gabe said, leaders in this party emerge. Because this country needs leaders who truly just love the country, not themselves. Not people who are desperate and must be a leader by all means. No. Because such desperation only leads to a nation going down. The destiny of our country is at stake. That fire that is blazing must continue to blaze. Because what we have seen so far, we calling it great under the reset, I believe is just a tip of the iceberg. The real transformation of the country is about to begin. The real progress and transformation is on the way. That is why those who aspire for leadership must have this bigger vision and stop the pettiness, and stop the selfishness, and stop the greed and the thinking that it's just about me. That will not be a blessing. June 4 brought us something. In spite of the pain, in spite of the difficulty, which happens. Even when Jesus entered into the temple and threw away the tables and kicked out the people who were doing all kinds of things, there was pain, there was regret. That is what life is. For some of those who clearly were innocent people, we can always say, sorry, it was not intended. But the good outweighed the bad. And on the back of that, this party has come. And so we must constantly remember that fire that blazes. And remember, this is bigger than us. This is bigger than us as individuals. This is bigger than us. This is about country. In fact, in the case of Ghana, it goes beyond country, because this country has a destiny to bless not just Africa, but bless the world. That's why selfishness, greed, self-centeredness must go down, especially if you aspire for the leadership of this great party. I want to thank you for the opportunity and to wish all of you the very best. This month of June, we'll see a lot of things that NDC, because that is our month, the month of June. So apart from June 4, in the next 6 days, we have June 10th, which is the party's anniversary. June 19th will be the Cadres Day. June 22nd will be the birthday of the founder, Jerry John Rawlings, and will be marked as a national event for the party. We want to encourage all of you to be with us, even as we prepare to show the leadership and the selflessness that this country requires of us, so that that fire that is blazing would even blaze more for the children of Ghana and for the future of tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Vivi Kweti, Warono General Secretary, Edema NDC, Amanyo Kono, na Onosukopie, the 4th June anniversary, for the 7th anniversary